Hello and welcome to another edition of Video Games to the Max. I'm your host, Sean Garber, here with me as usual, Mr. Mark Morrison.
Howdy.
And well, we are back to our regular day and pretty much the time that we normally do the recording. And of course, for everybody listening later, it'll be up at the normal, like late Monday, Tuesday morning kind ish thing. So good for everybody that likes the regularly scheduled stuff. Hopefully, we can stick to this. I will say that it is a good idea when they do have like state of plays. Nintendo hasn't had their big direct yet. When that happens, to do the reaction that same night that it happened, because it kind of makes no sense. We don't say anything until the next Monday. Nobody cares by the time you get to that next Monday, So in order to be a little bit more timely, we may still do, if you have like that one big event thing that night, and then still have our regular show on the Monday. So I don't know if Randy's going to pop in here to maybe talk about Reanimal or the was it Son of Sparta that came out during the state of play.
Yes, yeah.
So we might get an impromptu Randy signing at some point if he answers me. If not, Mark is going to be talking about Nioh 3. I have not played anything. I'm still catching up. I'm done with the Cairn review, so that is up on theouterhaven.net. I'm halfway through the Hermit and Pig review right now, and hopefully once I get that, then I can go back to actually like playing some games while I get the other two reviews I'm kind of backlogged on done. So I can finally play Romeo Must Die. What is it, Must Die? Or Romeo's a Dead Man, I'm sorry. And some
You're
other.
thinking of the old Jet Li movie.
Yeah. Romeo's a Dead Man. I also have a code that like randomly appeared for Reanimal that the guy was. I was like, yo, you sent it to my regular email, and I don't get gaming stuff on regular email anymore. And he's like, well, I already assigned it to you, so I guess just use it for the podcast or something. And I was like, okay.
Sure.
So so I have a few things to be playing here, and hopefully talking about in the next week. And we were also going to be talking about PlayStation 6. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing that it may be delayed till 2028 or 2029? Considering that there's some heavy hitters for PlayStation that might be coming out or done around that time. Maybe it's not such a bad thing. We'll talk about all that stuff. We will talk about some other things as well. Like I mentioned, we already did the State of Play reaction show on Thursday. So if you want to hear our thoughts on that, you can go watch that. It is all about the State of Play with Mark, Randy, and I. So it's just a 1 hour of us talking about that and some other like small bits of news. It's not anything crazy. There's been unfortunate passings, including the director of a game that has not come out yet, but is planned to come out. We'll talk about that, and a few other things that we'll get into here. So let's discuss all things and more right after this.
You are listening to Video Games to the Max.
All right, so really quickly here, let's go ahead and get into the housekeeping. So if you watch us every week, we do appreciate you. You can, and if this is the first time you're watching us, we appreciate you the same as well. You can always subscribe, like, follow, all that stuff. Hit the bell on the YouTube channel. If you do that, you'll know exactly when we go live, because we don't always go live at the exact same time on Mondays, because it kind of varies with my work schedule. But we do try to keep it to Mondays. And if you also subscribe, you get our other shows that we do on the network, which if you enjoy anime, you got the Otaku Cafe folks, which they do a great job of reviewing anime weekly, and they keep up with all the seasonal animes. So they're going on with the whatever season we're in, the winter season right now. So they are paying attention to that and reviewing that every week. They do a great job over there. So, go check them out. Also, you can go subscribe at podcasts as well. You can go find us Video Games to the Max Taco Cafe, or also Riot Listen Broadcasting. They do all the entertainment stuff for the network. Right now, they're reviewing the Crime 101 movie with Chris Hemsworth. I almost said Liam Hemsworth. So shows how much I pay attention. But yeah, they're reviewing that right now. They pretty much that's a lot of what they do. They review like the weekly big movie on the Damn You Hollywood show. They also review TV shows on their TV Party Tonight show. They do metal music. They do other things. So go check them out if you like the entertainment side of things. But let's keep it all in the gaming here. Let's go ahead and get started like we usually do with the games we've been playing. Marc's pretty much, like I said, the only one that's been playing something here, unless like I said, Randy pops in here at some point. But what do you think about Nioh 3? Oh, why are you on mute? Oh, you were on mute, Marc. Oh, hold on, let me
How's that?
There you go.
Yeah, just for some reason clicked. I was gonna say it's pretty neat. I'm playing it with Jens. It really is like a big Elden Ring game, except not quite as like annoying. Because there's no resource to like summon in a friend, except for like boss battles, which is nice. And the friend also doesn't go away like when you beat a big boss. So it's governed by like a meter that kind of just ticks down if you die or if you get resurrected. But I know you said Keith didn't like it as much.
Yeah.
I know why he doesn't like it, and it's like what I said the last time we talked about it. It's because it's easy or because it's a fair game. And Souls like people don't like that. They want the game to be like as brutally hard as possible. And it's like
Was it Nioh 1 or 2 that was like the
Nioh 2 was the hard
okay.
one because I never played that one. I've only played a little Nioh 1. I didn't really like it that much. But Nioh 2 is like even like Jens didn't like it, or he kind of gave up on it. So yeah, I really like it. It's just a kind of a fun game to explore around in. The bosses are like when you hit a big boss, it's not like, oh god, we're screwed. It's like, let's see how well we can do this. And sometimes we die, and sometimes we kind of just one shot on the first go around. It's helpful to have like another person there to like take aggro off the boss or off my character, or to do damage, and I can slip in from the back and then just beat it down or something. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I mean, it's only a problem. My problem is the kids doesn't have a ton of time to play it with me, so like we play it for like an hour or two, maybe a night if we're lucky, and that's about it. But I don't want to go beyond him because that wouldn't be as much fun. So
right,
we just going slowly, but it looks really nice, and I enjoy it quite a bit.
Is there anything new from the competitive games?
The big thing I guess would be like you have two different stances, like ninja and samurai. Jens is playing like all samurai, and I'm playing all ninja basically. So like he's like the big tank guy, big samurai sword, stances, all this other crap. I'm much more nimble. I have like a big whip with a chain, a chain with a ball on the end of it, and I have like shurikens and flame orbs and crap like that. So that like refill as I do damage. So like I'm just constantly like throwing crap out there like Naruto and doing stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, you literally get an ability that's like, if this is on and you get hit, you turn into a log or you teleport behind the opponent and then you can do damage. So I'm like, yep, that's Naruto, all right. So, and you can swap between them at any time. It's not like, oh, you're just locked into one. The problem with the game to me, and this is the only thing I have an issue with it. Jens isn't really as much, but you get a ton of gear in the game, like mountains of it, because you get you have two stances. There's I think at least 6 different weapon types per stance. So like the samurai will have a regular katana, the big like broadsword katana, dual swords, and I think 3 other ones. So you get 12 different weapon types. You can get gear for each like stand or for each like class as well. So that's a ton of crap you're getting.
right.
there's a system in the game to like kind of easily mark or easily like classify stuff, or like sort it out. But I really just wish there was like a junk button or mark this as junk. So when I go to a store or you can either sell stuff, uh, or donate it. It's not selling, but it's donating to get experience points. Or you can go to like the blacksmith and they can break it down. And I wish there was a very easy system that's like, okay, all this crap I got, like I just want to press X on most of it and just donate it. And but you can't really do that. It's like you have to go into this like the donation thing, click like highlight it, click it, and then they say, do you really want to do this? Yes, no, or yes, stop asking. And even if I say yes, stop asking, it always asks me if I want to do it. So it's like I could simplify this a lot better if I could just like press X on 30 items and then just click a button that says donate all right now. But like inventory in the game was like 2,000, and that's just like your in-person inventory. You have like an item box as well. That's probably in the millions. So
Yeah.
and you just get so much of it, it becomes overwhelming. I mean, thankfully, it's not like you can equip gear at any point in the game, like and not in a battle, but just when you're out in the world. So that's kind of helpful, but it's a lot.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah. Did you ever play that Strangers of Paradise game, the Final Fantasy one?
Yes, I had that game. I love that game. Yeah.
You know the gear system in that? It's a lot like this. And it's like that was a lot then, and this is more. So
Oh wow.
yeah. Like you can walk into like a dungeon and get at least 50 pieces of gear. And most of it's crap, because of course it is.
That's how that's exactly how that was with them.
Yeah. So I wish it was just like, okay, because like Diablo or like Assassin's Creed just has like a mark button. It's like, okay, square, 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 and all this crap, and then at the vendor, hit X and you donate it all or sell it all, and that's it. So that's like the only real complaint I have about the game. And Jens doesn't think that's like a big problem, but it's like you have the same item problems as I do because you've been collecting all this crap along with me. So you have
So why does he not have an issue with it? Or
he just doesn't think that it's like a huge deal. But it's like it's annoying to have to sort through all this crap, and
right.
I have to get through 50 fans to get to like the one good upgrade. It's like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't like that either with Stranger Paradise. Like it was so annoying. Like, oh, I'll get a gear that goes like +1 on the thing that I already have.
Right.
And it's like, is it really doing something? And then it's like you're digging through a bunch of other gear to see if something's worthwhile, and half the time it's not. And it's like, okay, this is a lot of wasting time.
Exactly, and it's the same developer, so it's like I guess they just prioritize because like in like Elden Ring or like a Souls game, like a Dark Souls or something, you get like 2 pieces of gear in a dungeon. It's like barely anything because like they kind of expect you to just find whatever sword you like and to stick with it and just keep upgrading it or whatever. You can't upgrade stuff in this game, but like why would you? Because you get so much gear at such a rapid pace. It's like why would I stick with this one piece of shit when 5 minutes later, I'll probably find something better,
All right, fair enough. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the other thing I did in the interim break we did. I got not only the best PS1 game ever made, the best video game ever made. I want you to guess what it is. It's a PS1 game. I can tell you that.
Okay. It's something you didn't have before, right?
Right. I just got it today.
Yeah, not.
I'll just tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man.
Yes.
All right. You know what? That's a lost gem.
So I'm correct in my statements.
Right? That's my only memory of that game is being in Venezuela and my cousin had, one of those, modded PS1s.
Right.
And you could get the burned
Right.
games on it, and that's what we were playing for like 3 hours. Was that game?
Yep.
So, yes.
Well, mine's an authentic copy from Japan.
Hey, there you go. Well,
I ordered it like 2 weeks ago for way too much money. It's a complete copy, so it has the manual, the registration card, and the OB card, which is like Japan has like these weird like spine cards on stuff.
yeah.
For like when they sell it, so it comes with all that. So I got it. No more PS1 games to ever buy again.
You got that's it. That's all you wanted. You have everything you want now.
There's one other there's Roll Cage for PS1, which I still cannot find the correct version of, but that's about it.
All right. Well, hey, I did not have Pepsi Man on the cards here, but you know,
everyone's favorite, except for Coca-Cola. Too bad they can't make a Coke Man. Too many negative connotations.
I did like the Super Bowl commercial,
right,
from Pepsi with they used the polar bears to find out that Pepsi has a better taste or whatever. That was a good one. We do have a question of what do you? We did our best PS2 games, not too long ago, but in case he didn't watch, I'm going to assume that he's checking us out today. He did not watch it. What is your best PS2 game?
Probably Nocturne. Maybe Suikoden 5. Persona 4 is probably up there, but I mean, I don't think it's like the best one.
Right.
And then it's other favorites. Like it's primitive, but Kingdom Hearts 1 is pretty decent.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 is the better game, no doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have that. I think I talked about it on there.
Kingdom Hearts 1 is like is a more of a nostalgia piece.
Yeah.
But I might actually prefer the mechanics of Kingdom Hearts 1 a little more, just because like they're more trying to figure it out, and some stuff obviously doesn't work. Like
to me, it's the best Disney stuff. It's still Kingdom Hearts 1, like
and the best Final Fantasy stuff.
No, but 2 did that really well. You had a lot of those cool like confrontations. You have the big moment with Cloud and Leon there where they're fighting everybody. Like, the organization thing isn't too overblown yet. They
got rid of a lot of like the like Final Fantasy crap.
They did. I mean, 3 totally it's gone. But that's and Nomura makes a good point that by then you don't need the Final Fantasy stuff anymore. It would have been a novelty to like shoe in there, and maybe Disney had a hand in that too. Like they wanted it to be more focused on them,
right?
Than maybe it had been in times past, and he kind of had to make cuts somewhere, perhaps. But Final Fantasy X for me, I think, is what I had at number 1. If I remember right. My gateway into JRPGs. So, well, Pokemon was, but like the true, like what I think, what I play now, JRPGs is. I didn't play Final Fantasy X. I wouldn't love Final Fantasy. So,
right
there you go. What is yours? You can leave it there in the comments. Since you asked there, it's always good to know. But I guess since that's it with us playing games, we might as well get into the news here. The big, I guess, ticket item for this week or so far is there are more confirmed. So nothing from Sony, obviously. This is all reports because Sony really doesn't need to report anything. If they decide that they don't want the thing to come out in 2027, it's not like they come out and they've said at all that the PlayStation 6 is coming in 2027. It's just people kind of reporting, saying that the stuff was supposed to be ready, that the date, the times kind of made sense, all of that. But now due to the RAM shortage, we've discussed, like, would they delay it? Would it be brought up to, like, does Sony really need to have the PlayStation 6 come out so quickly when you still have, like, so many PS4 players
Right.
You know, and they can barely get them to move over to the PS5, even though there was I don't know if we talked about it, that there was some kind of like an ad that appeared for PS4 players to kind of get them to like move over. Like, hey, you should come and play these cool games that are only on PS5. You know,
I didn't
you're
hear about that.
missing out over here.
I heard about the Xbox one, but not the.
No, yeah, it was like brief or something, and then it kind of like, I guess because it's on the previous generation, not a lot of people saw it, but the ones that did,
right,
said that, you know, it kind of was kind of telling them, hey, you should do this. But yeah, because of the RAM shortage and all that stuff, and Insider Gaming and Bloomberg have both corroborated that this is further reporting that they're going to delay the console. Sony Group has thought of pushing back the debut of its next PlayStation console to 2028 or even 2029. Then there has been reports further on from that Horizon 3 is about 3 to 5 years away. So that would put Horizon 3 at around 2029. The God of War trilogy is supposed to be very far off.
right,
where that could be 2028, 2029.
I'd say probably more far off, but yeah.
So, not saying launch, but maybe like launch year, you could get some heavy hitters come with the system from franchises that they know sell well.
Right.
Whereas, you know, what do you have coming down the pipe next year, aside from Final Fantasy 7 Part 3, which that's going to be multi-platform now. It's not only on your console now.
They got Wolverine and then Intergalactic.
Well, and Wolverine, yeah, Intergalactic is probably the only one that you can kind of shoe in. Wolverine is supposed to be slated for this year, but even then, you know, if it were going to come out in 2027, you know it's going to be around the holidays, right?
Right.
And I would say that, yeah, like by then, all these games that we're talking about would have came out for the PS5. So aside from Intergalactic, which they could probably use as perhaps the launch game, I think it's better because that way, if you also need to delay Intergalactic again, there's no like, oh my God, we have to have some big game to come out with the PS5. You know, like we gotta be doing mandatory overtime and all this other stuff that people complained about when that news came out, you know, about Intergalactic before.
Right.
Because they needed to make a demo so they could show, you know, executives that the game is moving along, right? So, you know, I don't know, Mark. I mean, is 2029 too far, or
I think 2028 is more likely because I mean Xbox is coming out with their console. They've rumored 2027. I mean, realistically, also by 2028. So you don't want to be too far ahead or behind Microsoft at that point, because that'll just led to the Xbox 360 gaining some dominance before they flushed it down the drain.
Right.
But I don't know. I just think 2028. But the problem still is like, to a lot of people, like the PlayStation 5 isn't like that big of an upgrade tech wise.
I mean, that's true.
Also, the fact that the game's split up, you know, do you want to prioritize visuals or graphic or, you know, frame rate? It's like that shouldn't really be an option. But also, I think people are like too entitled about, oh, this game has to look so spectacular and then run at 60 frames a second. It's like, think about games from our childhood. Like, did Mario 64 run at 60 frames a second and be 4K? It was barely 240p and 20 frames a second. You know,
I mean, we didn't really know what that was back then, to be fair.
Yeah, but like that's the thing is like people are like way too, you know, obsessed with that stuff now as opposed to just them making a good game.
I mean, there are people that, you know, I saw some folks that are like, man, it still needs to come out this is still technically old tech. We don't need to have old tech. It's like, guys, I mean, yes, it's old tech for you, but for most people, they're just now getting that, right?
And also, like, if that's the mentality, go buy a PC. We can upgrade it every year, every 6 months with a new video card, and be obsessed with that.
I mean, and also the point is that they're hoping that if they wait, either the AI bubble will burst and it will bring the RAM prices back down, which I don't think they're going to come down too much, because it's just like everything else, like groceries, like cars, like, everything else that we've gone through at this point, where it's like they might go down some, but they're not going to go back down to pre-pandemic or shortage levels too much, because you have now gotten accustomed to this is now the set price, right? So they're going to figure out a way to make it to where it's like, no, we don't want to go back to losing a bunch of money on this. So, we're going to maybe do halfway with you or something at the most. But it's still cheaper for Sony and Xbox and whatever, Microsoft and whatever, if they can lower them so that they can lower the price some, so the people that already have a problem buying the PS5 now can perhaps buy that next console, right? That's the problem too, is, it's all about buying. And then talk about PC right now. PC prices are crazy. So, that's the point, is it's not about like, we don't want to introduce this. It's about, will somebody be around to buy it? And honestly, the other thing is, like you said, it's not just that, it's also that, have we even gotten the best of what we can get from this generation yet? We're still having a bunch of games come out on the PS4.
Right. So, I would say we might be like slowly approaching it, but it still is not, we're not like hitting the wall like for stuff, Yeah,
GTA 6 is going to be that thing that's going to kind of like push the wall, right?
I don't even know. I mean, who knows? Like, it depends on how seamless they make it, or because you got to remember, like, GTA 5 was a fucking 360 and PS3 game.
Yeah.
So people looking at that game now going like, oh, it's such a marvel. It's like, yeah, it was also 15 years ago.
Right.
Or 13, I think, but still, like, so I don't know. I think GTA 6 will do just fine, but I don't think, like, if you compare like the PS5 version against some $4,000 gaming PC, the gaming PC want to blow it out the water, but the PlayStation 5 one won't be like, running at 15 frames a second or anything. It'll still look perfectly fine to most people.
Yeah, plus you can always, I'm sure the PS5 Pro will have another discount or something, and you can get that by then. Also, and you don't have to do the full upgrade to PS6. You can kind of do the one to the PS5 Pro. I wonder if, how long it will take for them to stop making that, if they do. We had a question here. If you had to pick, FMK on the three, what generation is that? We're on 9th generation, right? So that would be 7th gen, PS2, GameCube, or 360. Which one are you? I guess is the favorite the?
It would be PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox.
Oh, okay, yeah, it wouldn't be 360, right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, for the games that, man, that's okay. For me back then, I'm not talking about back then, right? I'm not talking about now. Back then, for me, original Xbox was my everything console. I played Halo with my friends. I had Halo as my third party, or Xbox was my third party console game. And PS2 and GameCube were the we have you for the exclusives, or like the SmackDown, like the WWE games, because I had friends that would play with me. PS2, right? For that. But GameCube would definitely be in third place. GameCube would be the taking it out back and
Right.
whatever.
I mean, I'm basically
Yeah.
the same way. Like,
Yeah.
PS2 is number one. Xbox is kind of a close second, but the problem with Xbox is like they had a few very good exclusive games. Obviously, Halo, but Chronicles of Riddick, that first Buffy game, Death Row, a bunch of other crap.
Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like their third-party stuff should have looked a lot better, and it didn't because they were aiming for PS2. So it may have looked slightly better, but like the Xbox to PS2 advantage, it's like Xbox was basically double the power of a PS2, and you maybe got 10% better looking games on it.
Well, yeah, like you said, because they had the main console they were making things for was the PS2 at that point.
Right.
So,
and it's like, we might be able to improve lighting a little, or the shader looks a little better, but that's about all we're gonna do. And it's like, cool, I guess. Thanks.
I can't even remember like what I had. I think on my GameCube, the only things that I had were like the Pokemon stuff, like Coliseum.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is still in a time where I'm not buying my own games, right? So I'm at the tail edge of like, I'm still in high school at this point. So, I'm having to rely on family to buy games for me.
Right.
So it's like, I'm going to get the things that I really want, and I don't have the option to just, here, I kind of want this, right? So GameCube a lot of times was left in the background,
I never really had a GameCube. I had one like once or twice, but never really had a ton of games for it. But the problem is I always hated the GameCube controller. So
the only reason I had a GameCube is because my stepmom got the wrong console. And I got lucky because, my birthday is in the Thanksgiving week, and then you had Christmas, right?
Right.
The whole point was I wanted the PS2 to play SmackDown. I think it was Just Bring It at that point. And she got the GameCube, which obviously you can't play that on.
So that's a problem.
And so I was like, I went to my dad and I was like, she got the wrong one. And my dad was like,
oh, goddamn it.
I'm pretty sure she threw away the damn receipt.
Yeah.
So I guess you know what your Christmas present is. So like I was like, all right. Whatever. So I eventually got what I wanted. But that's the only reason I had a GameCube, because I did not plan on getting one at all. Eventually, I liked it because, you got the 2 Day of the Reckoning games, which I loved.
Right.
And then, Super Mario Sunshine and Pokemon games, stuff like that, Metroid Prime, whatever. But I mostly playing on PS2 and my Xbox, and the GameCube kind of sat there.
Yep.
So, yeah, if I had to pick one, I guess I would marry the Xbox, F the PlayStation 2, and kill the GameCube, and you're the opposite. Yeah.
No, I'm the same way.
Oh, okay. Well, Mary is supposed to be the one that you love the most, or whatever.
Yeah, I'd say PS2,
Okay. But all right. There, we deviated a little bit there on that.
We filled in some time.
Let's go. Filled in some time. But all right, let's go back to our, I guess, what we had on deck here. But look, the PS6 thing, that's going to be a long ways away. I'm sure we're going to get more reports on that. More interesting stuff there with that. So, we'll be hearing more about it as time goes on. Also, I mentioned already the big games that they were working on. There's supposedly, there were some reports about the Cory Barlog game, but I hate when they do stuff like that, where it's like, they have more information on this thing, and it's like nothing.
Right.
And it's essentially just clickbait, and it's like, dude, come on. We could have just not.
It's like he's working on the game. It's like,
he's working on the game, guys. And it's like, really?
Yeah,
that's what we're here to report, that he's working on the game.
Sitting on his ass collecting a paycheck? Like,
they did, because they showed off the Marvel Spider-Man 2 is in fact going to be in PlayStation Plus Extra for this month, and that comes out today, tomorrow, when you're watching, listening to this, the 17th, they revealed the rest of the lineup as well. So you got Marvel Spider-Man 2. You got Test Drive the Solar Crown.
Great.
Which, yeah,
Everyone's
Neva.
favorite.
The original Neva, so that's cool because you can play that, and then you get the Neva the prologue that comes out 2 days later.
Right.
Season A Letter to the Future, another kind of like narrative game that's actually really good. Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, that's a great grab. And Monster Hunter Stories, 2 great grabs because you got Monster Hunter Stories 3 coming out in March. So you can play both of those games on PS Plus, and then you could, if you like it a lot, you can go buy the next game. Vemba, which I can definitely tell you is an awesome, really short narrative game about Indian cooking and how that affects a family. Really well done on that. Echoes of the End Enhanced Edition also coming to PS5. I think it's not like a day one thing. It's a relatively soon thing. Rugby 25, Mark. I know
you'll be doing over the weekend.
Yeah, definitely we'll be playing some Rugby 25. No, I actually like watching rugby here and there. So, but I don't know about the game. I'm sure that's a whole different beast there. And for PlayStation Plus Premium, well, we've all been wanting Disney Pixar's WALL-E for the PS2.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, the PS2 version?
Yeah,
I thought it was like the later one. We'll see then.
Yeah. But the premium version is always like the classics or whatever, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like the PS3 version, or like that was like the decent, like.
Right.
Like
well, you know how that is with the PS3. They're kind of like figuring that out on the,
right.
On the can they make it work thing. But yeah, that's it for PlayStation discussion here. Ubisoft has a few things. They had their reports, their quarterly, their whole 2025, 2026 Q3, which was apparently above expectations somehow. Assassin's Creed, The Division, Anno, and Avatar all went up in terms of net bookings, which is monthly active users, contributing to 1.1 billion euros, which is up 18% year over year. You know what? With all the bad news that they've had lately, I guess that's great.
Right. What about all the hot profits from Skull and Bones?
Yeah, right. We're waiting on that. Rainbow Six Siege apparently is still doing well. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora was able to ride the success of having the From the Ashes expansion and the movie come out also. And of course that did really well. So of course that made people want to go find the game. And they had over 130 million active users for that time period, which it's really good for them, which is a growth as well.
Just wait until they make another remake of King Kong and they can put on some King Kong DLC.
Yeah. Unfortunately for them, it wasn't all rosy news, even though I think some of this is actually not as bad as you would have thought it would be. Insider Gaming, which we know Tom Henderson has like an inside track on stuff going on at Ubisoft. He's always like reporting stuff before they want them to. Right. This is technically revealed on their podcast that they do every week, so you can go check that out. But part of it's paywall that I'm not sure if this part of it is, but it's like their Insider Gaming Weekly thing. So we already knew about Sands of Time remake. That was announced like last week. One of them is a Project Aether that's been in development since 2019. That was being worked on at Ubisoft Halifax, which we know that they had layoffs. Project Pathfinder, which was previously the Project U game, which we have no idea what that was. Project Crest, which was a World War II extraction shooter. That's probably a good idea that they canceled that.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed Rebellion, which they just stopped support on that. And then Assassin's Creed Singularity, which was a mobile Assassin's Creed game that was going to launch on PC as well. That apparently had been in development for a couple of years. Then they decided to kill that. So not as bad as I think some people might have thought it could have been. Could it have been some other like big games or whatever? So yeah.
I mean, we can talk about that Splinter Cell MGS video in a second, but like,
Yeah.
I still don't think Splinter Cell is in a good place. Like, I don't think that's thing's ever going to come out, or it'll just be kind of quietly canceled.
I feel like the fact again, like if they didn't have that Netflix show, I would say that's for sure would be on the chopping block. But I think the Netflix show kind of being around and being a thing motivates them to make sure that they do it. Also, I feel like you didn't have to put Sam Fisher and Metal Gear and Solid Snake in Rainbow Six Siege, but the fact that they did it, right? I mean, it says something. Like,
they should make some co-op game.
That'd be cool. Oh my god! You know how many people would buy that if they did?
Right. Where like Snake plays like Snake and Sam plays like Sam. It's like, all right, well, you get to be Sam.
I mean, that's awesome. Like,
that's what people would want. Yeah. Like,
yeah, like give people the option,
right,
of playing as one of them or both of them or however they want to do it. But that would be awesome.
Both Konami and Ubisoft are willing to work with partners. So.
Yeah, let's see if I can find this. It was still kind of like surreal, also like
the video
just to see it.
Yeah,
that trailer.
Well, it's actually kind of nice to see because like the two guys are like working together. They're not like fighting each other, which you would kind of naturally expect, or like the whole like Alien versus Terminator, RoboCop versus or Alien versus Predator, or RoboCop versus Terminator. They're like, no, they're just working together as professionals. So
it's like, yeah, maybe if it works out, this will come up with a deal, like you said, to maybe do like it doesn't have to be a huge game. It can maybe be like a small game now that Ubisoft is apparently like kind of back into like maybe they'll do more smaller games. Now that
all their big games flamed out.
Well, I don't know. They keep saying that it has to be live service or open world. Maybe you can make a small open world Solid Snake Splinter Cell game. Like also like, how do you make Splinter Cell open world? That's kind of like defeats the purpose of that game.
I mean, parts of that. What is it? The last one, It's not Breakpoint. I forget the name of it, but that was a little open world ish. Where you had like really big levels,
Yeah.
But I don't know. You don't need it. I wouldn't say you had to have it be open world. I mean, look at like Hitman. Like that does pretty well.
Yeah, but Ubisoft still is in that weird place where it's like it's got to be one or the other. It's like we can't have something else that makes more sense for people. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool that Ubisoft is doing well at amongst the bad things that have been happening until lately, or the restructuring talk and all that. Speaking of some interesting things going on with another publisher, SEGA, even though you talked about it when we did our reaction show that Yakuza Kiwami 3 is not being received too well. And we discussed that it's probably going to be the last of the Kiwami series, according to the the team.
Yep.
They have discussed during their fiscal Q3 earnings call that they are looking at making sure that they have 4 mainstay franchise games at least per fiscal year. And they've already kind of rolled out a schedule with projects going on, new projects for Virtua Fighter, Golden Axe, Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, and Crazy Taxi, and Alien Isolation, which we know that Alien Isolation and Crazy Taxi both have games in development. Crazy Taxi has that online multiplayer version of Crazy Taxi or whatever.
It was like a battle royale, I think.
Yeah, Battle Royale. That's right. Yeah, I was close.
Right.
They've been reports already of a Jet Set Radio Golden Axe, all of that. So
I could buy Jet Set Radio, but Golden Axe, like that was such a limited franchise, like so. And if you try to like make it in today's world, it's some generic hack and slash, brawler. Like we already have God of War. Like we don't need, we don't need some sub brand of that.
Dude, they're doing an animated series for Comedy Central for Golden Axe, so you gotta have a game to go with it, I guess.
So that's Fallout.
Well, that's a whole nother thing. I think now you kind of have to go in with the expectations of, well, this better hit, because if not, we're gonna have nothing to like help our game go somewhere or whatever. I would say also that like they've also kind of revealed more animated projects to go with this. Now, Shinobi had a game last year, did really well. One of, I think, Randy and mine's favorite games from last year. So that's getting an animated project or series. Streets of Rage is getting an animated series. That makes sense. Because that game also did really well when it came out. Eternal Champions and Outrun. Still don't know what we're gonna do with an Outrun anime, but cool.
I mean, it'll just be like a racing anime.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
that at least kind of has like a plot, I guess, or it's two guys rolling, racing against other people.
Right. And they are also doing the House of the Dead movie, which they just cast Isabella Merced to be the lead. So,
but where's Uwe Boll?
Oh God! Please don't. Watch them bring like, well, we need your expertise from the original House of the Dead movie, Uwe Boll. So, please come on as a consultant.
If they're gonna do House of the Dead, I want it to be like goofy, because like House of the Dead is goofy, No,
you should. No, you should. It needs to be.
Yeah,
goofy. You can't just. Yeah.
Well, I don't want it to be some like horror, like that Resident Evil movie they're making with Zach Krager. It's like he's a good director and writer, and it'll be creepy. But like Resident Evil is like not specifically about that necessarily. Like it has some goofy elements in it. So I'd want House of the Dead to be like funny or kind of over the top.
No, you're not wrong.
And then at the end, like after the movie's over, and they roll credits, and they have like a teaser where they break out Typing of the Dead. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great if like the next one is Typing of the Dead, and it's like some interactive thing with like phones, and everyone in the audience has to like type words in for it to like.
That seems like a total Netflix thing.
Yeah.
Since they have to make things to appease to the people watching on their phones, or having their phone in their hand while they watch something, and they have to repeat what the point of the movie was like 5 times.
Right.
That's perfect for them. You just tell them, okay, now you got to type to progress.
Yeah.
You're already typing, so why not? But another kind of Dead type movie that might actually do much better, Dead by Daylight, is also getting a movie from Blumhouse, which they have a very great track record, not only with movies now, with games. They have chosen the 2 writers for this film, which is going to be David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. He's been known for The Conjuring, which you can have your the series is still going somewhat, so it's doing decent enough. And you also have Alexander Aja. It's going to be joining them as well. Alexander Aja's done The Hills Have Eyes, the 2006 version. And they can't direct because they're already doing some movie for Netflix. So they're still looking for a director, but at least you have the writers right now.
Right.
And the weird thing is going to be is like that game has become more synonymous with the fact that they just basically have every horror movie,
Yeah,
famous horror movie character.
Right, Ash or all the other crap. So
it's like you're not going to pay the crazy amount of money it would cost to actually put those characters in the film, I'd imagine. So like what
characters, no. Actors, why not? That'd be the kind of the funny part.
you think okay, yeah, like putting like the real Robert Englund in there and
Yeah,
all that. It's okay, I can see that. It's just kind of like a joke thing, or kind of like
right.
well, we
Like
couldn't get Freddy Krueger, but here you go.
Yeah, the meta thing, because I think that's like the last Friday the 13th movie is all about. Like, oh, they're making a Freddy movie in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, I can't ever underestimate a franchise now because all you have to do is set it in the same universe and you will get those fans going.
Right.
The Five Nights at Freddy's have now had, 2 movies. You had
but that
Minecraft is crazy awesome.
That second movie really bombed.
Yeah, that second movie did not. I mean, I don't think it's gonna it doesn't have the cachet of like a Mario that go do the second movie and people are gonna go out there and watch. Like it's I think he was just totally surprised that the first movie did well. So the fact that you got the second movie made at all is something. But I'm sure it'll do fine when it's probably already on some streaming at some point.
Right.
I don't know where, but it'll probably get there soon. But yeah, I would not be surprised if this does well because number one, horror movies are kind of like back are kind of in vogue a little bit,
right?
Or a lot. You have Resident Evil, Requiem, and Scream 7 coming out the same day. That's going to be interesting how that goes. But it's just like it kind of seems to be a much bigger genre than it used to be, where it was very much like, oh, this is campy and B movie stuff, and it's like, no, this is a big time genre now for movies. So, and it's one of the movie genres that people will still go to the movies to see because you want to get scared in the theater, right? It's not as cool to get scared at home. You don't really get scared at home that much,
right?
So yeah, I can see this doing well still. But unfortunately, Sega, not all good news for them. 2 bad news items. One of them being that, surprise to no one, Sonic Rumble underperformed. And it led to Rovio, which is more known for Angry Birds, receiving an impairment loss of more than $200 million, which is not great. They spent a bunch of money acquiring Rovio to get that Angry Birds IP and all that stuff and be able to make mobile games with people that know how to make mobile games. They basically attributed it to Sonic Rumble not doing well, not meeting key performance indicators. Of course, it was also free on PC. So, if it's free, people are not going to, that's the thing is like, you're hoping a lot of people go and play it because it's free, and sometimes that doesn't always work out, especially if the game's not good.
Right.
So they're hoping that Angry Birds movie that comes out in December is going to kind of like offset some of this stuff. Plus, I'm sure Sonic will be fine.
I don't know about that because like Angry Birds, it seems so like old at this point. Or,
Yeah,
that was like 10 years ago.
It still surprises me, man, the amount of people that still play that game, though. Like,
I mean, play it maybe, but that like, do they spend money on it, or are they still buying like the figurines or the plushies and all that crap? Like, no.
Yeah, you're right, but that's all that is needed. Is that one movie where you get new merchandise and people all of a sudden, like, just bam, they want to go and buy that now. Or they want to go watch that. Or like, your kids get attached to it. They make it cute enough. They make it, cool enough. And people will be like, yeah, okay, buying this, And,
sure.
And then the worst bad news, 2 passings here. One, a major legend of the industry, the father of Sega hardware, Hideki Sato, has passed away at the age of 77. He did so on February 13th. He's the designer of all of the major Sega consoles.
Right.
He he was the Sega's R&D development, part of their R&D since the beginning of the console war with Nintendo. He talked about, he had an interview with Famitsu where he talked about like why they made the Mega Drive look the way it did, because they wanted to make look like an audio player. He said that having that 16-bit part in gold apparently cost them a lot of money, but they kind of wanted to make it look like it was, it was worth the price there. And he also mentioned that he wanted wireless controllers for the Dreamcast, which would have been cool. So you would have had wireless controllers way before anybody else. And
I'm not sure wireless would have done that well back then, but okay.
You think so? Like, man, I can't imagine wanting to have a cord now. Like, I have a cord to the one on my laptop,
right?
Because I'm sitting right next to it, but I don't want one for any of my other consoles.
I mean, I have a cord, but I'm also 2 feet away from my PS5, so I don't really care. But
okay,
if I was 20 feet away, I'd still have a cord because I don't want to deal with battery crap.
I guess I just don't think about it that much. Like, it's just charge it when I'm not using it, and then okay, it's ready to go.
So. Yeah, but if you have like a 5-hour gaming session, which I know you never do, but if you did at one point, like by hour 3,
does your
DualSense
go out after 5 hours? Like, I've never had that problem.
Maybe like 4. I mean, but they don't last that long, especially like the longer you have them. Like,
yeah, that's true. The batteries do end up dying in those things. Like, I will say, I mean, I'm not opposed to yes, it eats up AA batteries, especially if you're having to like turn on and off the controller and then leave it on, right? Because you kind of forget. That kills the battery really fast, but I still am not like totally opposed to the whole AA battery.
Right. I mean, I don't want AA batteries. I would just want user replaceable batteries, or hot swappable ones like the 360 used to have.
Right.
So
fair enough.
But laptops don't even do that anymore. So
no, they don't. That's a sad thing. I do miss that. Now it's like a pain in the ass if something happens to your power brick. You got to hope to God you get the one that's actually like compatible with it, because if not, you're going to end up killing your laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they don't replace it.
I did that. My old laptop, the battery went bad, so I replaced the battery myself, and it said it was compatible, and it plugs in more or less fine. But like, there's some setting on the motherboard or something, or like some hardware thing where like the battery is not recognized by the laptop itself, so the battery light will just like blink constantly. Ooh. And I can unplug it, and it'll last for like 10 minutes, which again isn't correct. Like, it should be a new battery, but that's it. Like, and even like Windows is like, you don't have a battery plugged in. It's like, yes, I do. Why can't you read it or recognize it? But
yeah, Keith helped me make sure I got the right battery for the old laptop I had.
Right.
But I never actually put it in because I was like so scared that it's like, dude, this is the only computer I have. If that battery like fries my laptop or something, I'm screwed.
Well, the problem is my old laptop, the battery is bulging to the point where like the trackpad was like popping out of the enclosure. And I said, okay, I need to get a new battery in this thing pronto. It's not a new battery. Take this old one out before it explodes.
Exactly. Don't blame me on that.
Yeah.
And then the one that I mentioned at the beginning that it's my fault. I didn't like have it on hand. Shutaro Ida passed away at 52. He is the creative director right now, or was on the Skull and Engagement, Bloodstained the Skull and Engagement. It's in development over at ArtPlay, and this is sort of similar to what happened to I don't remember his name, but the legendary creator of Suikoden that was working on the Ayuden Chronicles, and then he died.
Yeah.
Kind of similar situation where they were very close to launch or like in the their plan was to launch this year, right? Very, very, very far along in development, and then this happens, right?
Yeah, Moriyama, he was a Suikoden guy.
Yeah, and so they are saying that they are going to they're going to finish the development. They're going to get this game out, in his honor.
Sure. I mean, the game looked pretty far along in that trailer a few months ago.
But it still sucks. It's still sad that, like, look, 52 is still young, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, especially, and for you to pass when you're making a creative work like that, and you don't even get to see the finished product, that's really sucks.
Yeah.
And condolences to his family. Condolences to Hideki Sato's family as well. Never want to see these like legends, passing on and whatever. It does show kind of the times in gaming, right? Like gaming has aged to the point now where we are starting to get like,
I was thinking about this earlier. Like Miyamoto's up there. He's 72 or 73, and like, would you call him the most influential man in gaming?
From a creative standpoint, yeah.
I mean, from anything. I mean, yeah. Like,
Mario, without him creating Mario, you don't have gaming, right?
Right. It's like Well, you'd have gaming, but it'd be like all on PCs.
Well, but remember, like he basically Nintendo brought back like gaming to America essentially because you still had like the people out there playing PC games, but it wasn't. It made the consoles explode and become a big thing again, So
yeah,
I would say that from like if somebody, you say who's he was the creator of Mario, I think almost anybody would be like, okay, yeah, I know who that I know who that is, and now he's even gone into making movies and had a successful one. So
right,
yeah, that is scary to think about. Like, hopefully I don't want to think about that day, but it will be a very mournful day.
Right.
Let's talk about some games doing well here. A game that I'm sure you probably have your eye on a little bit because you like Binding of Isaac and all that from Edmund McMillan.
Yep.
Mewgenics peak player count was at 115,000 on February 15th, and now has peaked at around 115,428, surpassing Hades 2 as the most roguelike game played of all time.
Right.
Hades 2 peaked at 112, almost 113,000. Metacritic rating is at 89. Obviously, Hades has a, more on that, or Hades 2, I'm sorry. Right. But, like, still, for it to be a new IP, obviously from a known director, but still a new IP, another year in that timeline of people are starting to kind of like, it feels like the roguelike is starting to have a little bit of a wane on it somewhat, at least with the roguelike like deck builders, where it feels like that's another one of those coming out every freaking week. Hey, how do you feel? Does it entice you to want to get the game now that it's getting
I'll
good
probably
reviews
get it eventually. Sure. I mean, it was in development for like so long.
Yeah,
so that's why I wasn't like excited for it necessarily. Because you talked about it like a decade ago, and he gave up on it like once and then kind of went back to it.
Very true. Yeah, I'm kind of sort of interested in it as well, just because I like keeping up with the indies and whatnot. Another interesting one something that we saw with Peak last year, and it looks like we're going to see also with another game called Big Walk that's coming out later this year. The advent of the sort of lesser expensive game where you play with your friends and you're not, and it's kind of like, okay, I'm just playing with my friends and we're talking and kind of having a good time while we play. And it's not like a party game. It's sort of like we're doing something while we talk kind of game or whatever.
I would call that like casual co-op.
Yeah, okay, like I could see that casual co-op. So YapYap is the latest in this kind of thing, where it sold 500,000 copies in less than a week on Steam. It's a co-op horror game where you use microphones to cast magic spells and kill enemy wizard towers. That kind of actually sounds kind of like fun if you have, good friends to play with.
Right.
And the game's publisher Mason Bob is absolutely kind of like floored by the fact that they've sold this much. They are going to be doing new stuff with the game, and it only costs $8. We talked the dev of Peak actually talked about how like they were kind of going between like prices, and where there's like a price line where it's like, oh, $8 is kind of like $5 to some people. So they're to a lot of people, so like they're good with $8. And once you get to $10, that prices out some people. And of course, obviously, if you keep going up and up, it prices out more people. But like $8 is kind of like that range where it works, And so it seems like this is another one of those where like $8 is seeming to work. So we'll see if that kind of starts a new trend of like, let's come out with more $8 games.
Right.
So yeah, interesting on that front. Also, Crimson Desert, we got some good news from a guy I know actually pretty well, PR extraordinaire director Will Power. He used to work at like PlayOn and Deep Silver and all that stuff in the past as well. He was asked about, is there going to be some kind of microtransactions for Crimson Desert, which comes out next month? He says no. Crimson Desert was designed as a premium game, and it will not have any kind of cosmetic shop. You buy it and you enjoy the world, and not something for microtransactions.
Until the first patch hits, and they introduce the microtransaction shop.
I hope he's right. We need more games like this. I'm a little bit worried about Crimson Desert because it looks a little bit like too good to be true. Like it looks amazing. It looks like you can do all this stuff in it. But if it hits like, let's say Expedition 33 did, where I feel like Expedition 33 also had a little bit of that, where everybody kept seeing it and going, man, this is a little bit like it's like way too good.
Right.
Way too good to be what it is. And Pearl Abyss is doing this thing, and they've shown off gameplay. They've shown off a lot of it. So we'll see. It only March 19th is supposed to hit. So are you interested in Crimson Desert at all? Or I don't know if you paid attention to it.
Maybe a little. Like we'll see when the reviews hit, I guess.
Yeah. I just hope it doesn't turn into like a Dragon's Dogma 2, where like people kind of it gets these big major reviews, and then it's like it's
forgotten
awesome
about
for like a couple weeks, and then no one cares.
Right. That was like that Grand Blue Fantasy Relink game I used to. I like, but like I think I tried to play it like a month ago, and like no one was online. So
right, yeah. Maybe with the Switch version, it'll get rejuvenated again.
Well, I don't know if that content's coming in, and then also it's probably not going to have crossplay. So,
yeah, true.
Bummer.
I still hope it does well. You want to see the games do well there. Dino Crisis 1 and 2 got surprise launch on Steam, and it has a 50% off until February 26th, so you can get them each for $5. They both have improvements as well.
And one de-improvement, let's say.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Get Dino Crisis on Steam. So
no, get Dino Crisis on GOG where it doesn't have the DRM.
That's true.
And it plays better. Like
yeah, you do get that.
I don't know why they're like foisting DRM. First of all, like if you want to play Dino Crisis on a computer, you can do it within 2 minutes. Like it's not like some mystic thing. It's just download a PS1 emulator and go play it. Like. So they're not. I mean, the fact that they had some improvements is nice, but like, make it worthwhile to people. Like having some DRM that like makes the game worse, as long as like that Resident Evil 4 they just got rid of Denuvo and they put in the new DRM, and it's like dramatically worse playing. And it's like, what? Why did he do this like years after the game came out?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Not wrong about that.
Yeah.
Well, I got to the point like didn't they had to remove it with some of the games, right? Because it made it to where like it was like not playable.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think like the old Resident Evil 4, I think Digital Foundry did a thing on it, and it was like 120 FPS with the old DRM, and like with the new DRM it was like 90.
Yeah.
And it's like I mean, somewhat dramatic. It's not just like 1 or 2 frame FPS. That's like a third of it or a fourth. So
yeah, not surprised there.
Yeah.
And then one last thing, feels like we always have to have at least one story that involves layoffs. A Den of Wolves developer, GTFO, GTFO developer, and also Den of Wolves developer, 10 Chambers, had to have a large number of layoffs as part of a restructuring.
Right.
They announced this on LinkedIn, which seems to be the place where they, between that and game developer, where they announce these kind of things now. Yeah, he said that apparently they want to make sure they can make Den of Wolves the game it's supposed to be. They are definitely still committed to making the game. And, you know, this is from like some former Payday designers that are still wanting to make this sort of return to that kind of style of game, but we'll see.
Did we talk about the Riot Games layoffs also?
I think we did. I don't.
2X.
Oh no, we didn't. With 2XKO, yeah.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Well, it's not surprising because they expected the game to do like, you know, League of Legends numbers, and it's like, yo, that
was never happening.
Yeah, never gonna happen. It's the same reason like Arcane only lasted like 2 seasons. It's like, well, it was expensive, but like they expected it to be some like ratings powerhouse or something. It's like, what are you guys smoking over there? Like,
right?
This is
yeah,
to get people into this thing. Like, so from what I understand, like 2XKO isn't like terrible, but like they expected it to be huge, and it's like most fighting games in general aren't that big anymore, but you have to like really support it with like free updates and like free shit first before you have to like build an audience before you can start introducing like microtransactions and stuff like that. So
right, yeah.
And good luck.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Den of Wolves will come out and be good, but you know the way things have gone,
right?
It's, more likely that it probably won't.
Yeah.
That being said, we might as well just end as we usually do each week by talking about the games that are going to come out in this week ahead. Avowed hits PlayStation 5.
Yep.
So if you haven't gotten to play that yet, you can now on PlayStation 5. All of the Virtual Boy stuff also hits on the 17th. So if you were excited about playing Virtual Boy games,
yeah,
which Mario Tennis and
Telerobox. I had 2 Virtual Boys growing up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wario Land is pretty decent.
Like that system isn't like the worst thing in the world. Like I had fun with it, you know, at the time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but it's out there. It's out there if you want to go play that and you have the Switch Online thing. Calamity Angel Special Delivery, which is a, you know, delivery package RPG out on PS4, Switch, and PS5 on the 17th as well.
Yep.
Under the Island also comes out on everything on the 17th. That's getting a little bit of push. Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown, Mark, that comes out.
I gotta talk to Adam. I want that game badly.
I don't know if nothing happens, let me know. I might just get it for you. Well, Death. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll have to see how other reviews shake out first. But
yeah,
I enjoy
it. It could be really bad or something, but I know you love your Star Trek, so
yeah.
Death Howl comes to consoles after already being out on PC last year. That's also now on console, Game Pass and stuff. It's actually a really good game. So if you were wanting to try, but you don't play games on your PC or something, give Death Howl a shot. Demon Tides is another game that I am reviewing right now. It looks like it's going to be the next awesome 3D platformer. So yeah. Get ready for that. That's out on PC. I'm sure console versions will be coming later. That Hello Mario thing is coming out on the 19th as well. So if you're looking forward to that. Love Eternal, which is a horror like RPG thing that's coming out on everything, is also out on the 19th. Kletka also out on the 19th. No, Never the Prologue out on the 19th. That's out on all the current consoles and Switch. Paranormal Sight, The Mermaid's Curse, out on Switch as well on the 19th. The next Styx game, Six Blades of Greed,
They're
is
still
out.
making those?
Yes, they are, Mark. I know you reviewed one of them.
I didn't review any of them. I think I was offered
I
one.
thought you did. Yeah.
Because I knew back then. I'm like, no, this is
Right.
not for me. Like, come on.
Right. Super Battle Golf comes out on the 19th. East X Proud Nordics, which is like the, I guess, expansion version of East 10.
Yeah.
Comes out on PS5, Switch 2, and PC. Lots of stuff coming out in this week ahead here.
Sure.
The Rainbow Six Mobile, Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Mobile also comes out. But yeah. So there you go. Lots of things to go check out, play, whatever kind of fight your fancy there. So until next week, thank you everybody for watching, listening, however you check us out, and we'll see you later.
Later.